Hello humans, I am the Black Cat, and today we continue our dive down the Unexplained Mysteries Iceberg with Tier 3, so let's go. Jennifer Keese was a 24-year-old woman living in Orlando, Florida. On the Monday of the 23rd of January 2006, it's believed that Jennifer got ready for work, got in her car, and then disappeared. Her work noticed that she didn't show up for work, so they called her parents, who immediately went to her house. They found evidence that she had gotten ready for work, and her car was missing. Jennifer's car would later show up in a parking lot. There was a security camera next to the parking lot. When the police got the footage, they saw her car being parked and someone getting out of the car. Unfortunately, because the security camera only takes a still shot every second or so, there was not a clear shot of the person, and it is still unsolved. Who is the person who parked her car? What happened to her? If she was murdered, where is her body? The Everton Bridge is a small bridge branching off from the Everton House in Scotland. The bridge covers a deep ravine in order to provide easier access to the house. However, over the years there has been a number of occurrences of dogs jumping off the bridge. Some unfortunately died, but not all, giving the bridge its nickname of the Dog Suicide Bridge. Why dogs jump off is still a mystery. Some theories are that it could be the smell of minks in the ravine combined with an optical illusion from the trees, making it seem like it's flat ground. Other theories suggest that the house and grounds are haunted by dark spirits that apparently only target dogs for some reason. Until the dogs can tell us why they jump, I guess we'll never really know. On the 23rd of May 1964, Jim Templeton took some photos of his daughter and was shocked to find the image of a strange figure in the background of one of the photos. He apparently took the photo to the police, and the photo was deemed to be a normal photo. Jim claims there was no one else around at the time, and he had no explanation for the photo, leading people to speculate it was some kind of spaceman in a spacesuit that just wanted to photobomb apparently. However, this case has been debunked. It's actually Jim's wife, who can be seen here in another photo taken the same day. The camera apparently overexposed her in the background, making her blue dress look white. The Tasmanian case, also known as the Mystery of the Summertown Man, refers to the case of an unidentified man that was found dead on a beach in South Australia in 1948. Who the man was and how he died are questions that still have no answers. The man apparently had a small piece of paper in his pocket that was ripped out of a book, and the piece of paper had the word Tasmanian Shred, which translates to finished or ending. Police also located a suitcase at the Adelaide train station that they believed belonged to the man, but it offered no answers, only more questions. The Badge Man refers to a photo taken at the time of John F. Kennedy's assassination. It's claimed that behind a wall on the grassy knoll, there's an image of a man in what appears to be a policeman's uniform, pointing a gun at the president. There appears to be a flash in front of the man, possibly a muzzle flash. The theory being that the Dallas police actually conspired to kill Kennedy. However, the photo is so old and blurry, frankly, it's difficult to make anything out, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was a case of pareidolia. On the 24th of December 1945, in West Virginia, United States, the Sodder family, which consisted of George Sodder, his wife Jenny, and their 9 children, were all in bed. Jenny recalls being woken up at one point to the sound of something hitting the roof of the house, but she went back to sleep. Sometime later, they were awoken again, this time to the smell of smoke. Realizing there was a fire in the house, George and Jenny rushed to get out with their children. 5 of their children they believed to be sleeping sleeping in the attic they couldn't get to because of the fire. They called out to them, but there was no answer. Once outside, George decided to get a ladder to climb up to the attic window. However, the ladder wasn't in the usual place that he kept it. It was later found some distance away from the house. All efforts to save their children were hampered in one way or another. By the time the fire department arrived, it was too late. The house was gone, and so were the children. However, their remains were never found. In fact, no remains were found at all. George and Jenny believed their children were in fact kidnapped before the fire was lit, and that the fire was used to not only distract them, but to cover the fact that their children were missing. George and Jenny weren't convinced that their children died in the fire and continued to look for them for the rest of their lives. It definitely seemed like there was some kind of, conspiracy. Blank Room Soup, or Freaky Soup Guy, is in reference to a series of videos that show a man with his face censored sitting at a table eating from a bowl. He appears to be crying. Two other men, who are dressed in identical costumes, enter the room. Nothing really happens, but there's a general feeling of dread, a feeling of threat. It's unknown who made the videos or why. It's claimed that they were found on the dark web, or the deep dark web, or just, an attempt to make it seem like something sinister is going on. Who knows? Apparently the creator of the costumes was found, but he claims that his costumes were stolen and he doesn't know what happened to them. Some think he's full of shit though. But whatever the reason, be it creepy cult deep web video or school film project, it's interesting nonetheless. On the 31st of March 2006, Brian Schaeffer, then aged 27, went out to a club with his friends. While they were at the club, his friends lost track of him. When the club was closed, his friends went outside and waited for him, but when he didn't come out with everyone else, they assumed he had already left and went home. However, when Brian didn't show up the next day, the police were called and an investigation started. The police went to the club and retrieved footage from the club's security cameras. Cameras showed Brian enter the club with his friends, then showed him standing outside of the club talking to people, but then he went back into the club. But he never came out again. So what happened to him? Theories range from he snuck out with a change of clothes and ran away and changed his identity and started a new life. Another theory is that he was murdered in the club. As far as the security footage goes, it looks like he never left the club. So where did he go? What happened to him? Brian is still missing to this day. But anyway, that brings us to the end of Tier 3. We're almost at the halfway point. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of these stories, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!
Spoken